Hey, babe. Welcome to the House of Zoltana. Or welcome back, because those who have been here before already know what time it is. Today, we are talking about a very spicy topic, a little bit of a taboo topic, but we are talking about what it means to be famous, the resource of fame, how it can actually be a positive thing, and how we are actually in this new paradigm of celebrity consciousness alchemizing the visibility wounds and the self-abandonment wounds and the traumas that have occurred due to bright souls being taken advantage of, and essentially being preyed upon by people in the industry, in the music industry, entertainment industry. And I just want to speak about how we are taking our power back. And for those who are on their own sacred fame journey, and I speak from my own case where, as an independent artist, one of the things that I have been wary of is signing to a bad deal, right? Selling your soul, taking pieces of you away just to, serve the machine, I guess you could call it. But we're really talking about how, when you have such a gift and the spotlight just gravitates towards you automatically, and how when you are seen, it is actually a gift, and that it is something that our systems are still getting used to. I am outside, so you are going to be hearing outside noises because I hear little Miss Bella going off over there. But here's the thing. When you are actually in the spotlight, being seen, being witnessed, being perceived by millions, it can change you. And the opinions and the judgments of others can get into your head. And so it's so important that you have such a strong knowing of who you are, so no one can tell you who you are, so no one can try to slander your name or try to defame you, because we see what has happened with so many stars, with child stars and with the stars, celebrities that we've come to know and love, how they have been defamed, how they've been lied about and stalked, and death threats and all types of absurdities that have happened. So of course anybody would be like rejecting fame, like, I do not want that. I do not want to be stalked by paparazzi. I do not want to be like, having people trying to like find out where I live. Like, there's so many like darker sides to it that end up being a block, end up being resistance to why sometimes we don't shine our light, because we fear that it might get taken or used or abused. And so part of the stars alchemy is shining bright in the darkest spaces. And so at this time, with celebrity consciousness, we are seeing an uprising of people sharing their truth, of acknowledging who they are and not holding back, not fearing being canceled because of being different or having an opinion that goes against the status quo, and actually speaking up for injustices in this world. Like, you're allowed to have a voice, and part of being an artist and sharing your message through whatever medium that is, you sharing your human experience through whatever medium of art that it is, like, it is so worthy and so valuable, and people know that. All right, they know that, which is why art has almost like trying to have been hijacked. We see that with AI music. It's almost like trying to hijack the true authentic voice, and it will never work. And it might be one form of expression, but truly it is now time for those to get paid for your truest, most authentic self, and for you to really be seen, honored, held, respected, valued for the work and your contributions. And speaking about your, what you offer, what you give, what your skills, natural gifts, talents, abilities, whatever, it's literally just your light. It all comes back to you just shining a light, and your soul being so bright that you just can't help but to shine. And so at this time, for the person who is on their own journey of sacred fame, you are going to come up against the edge of being seen by more people, and there is going to be a sometimes visibility wounds, sometimes it's fears, sometimes it's needing to understand that everybody's going to have an opinion just like everybody's got an asshole, right? But that doesn't mean that you have to subject yourself to criticism in a way that tries to tear you down. And so we do have to have a very strong inner voice. And it's also important that we learn how to say no, because people tend to expect things once you get to a level of success and once you have reached a certain status. And so it is very important that you do have boundaries and that you do have a level of self-awareness. This is the conscious couture. Like, you don't just, like, it's okay to have a good time and party, but like, don't be letting your life force energy be sucked away by people who don't care, by situations, entities that don't care, and by things that aren't there fully giving back to you in all the ways that you deserve. And so I find that with everything there is moderation and there's balance. Like, I am a party girl, like I love to turn up, but at the same time I'm very aware. Like, I am very socially aware, and I'm not the type of person to be like, you know, lit at the function or, you know, going to places. If my intuition rings and says, no, baby, you're not meant to be in that room, then I'm not going in that room. But there are some spaces where you are meant to be in that room and you are meant to shine your light and you are meant to shift the energy of that space. And if you're holding back because you're afraid of what people are going to say, you're afraid of being judged, you don't want people looking at you, you know, you have something to say, but then you're afraid of what's going to happen when you do, like, all of that gets to go. All of that gets to be truly just surrendered into love and into knowing that you're actually being of service when you share what's on your heart to share. And so this sacred fame journey is really just about us being so authentically us, and really just knowing that we get to be paid and we get to call the shots and we get to make the own rules. We get to work for ourselves. We get to be independent, and we don't have to wait for somebody to basically hand us some opportunity, but we can really go out and give it to ourselves. And within that, it's also finding the right people, right? Because the community will come, the support will come, the fans will come, all of these things will be there. But first you have to, like, really give it to yourself. And I do see now with talking about like the celebrity energy where, like, self-resource, babe, like, you really can do this shit right from your phone. You really can, like, harness the resource of fame without having to go through the record labels or without having to go all the way to Hollywood, right? And so choose your environment wisely, go to where you are called, but know that your spirit should never be compromised, and that you really should be honoring yourself every step of the way. And don't feel like you have to give away pieces of yourself. And be very careful. Read the fine print, honey, and give yourself the opportunity to really shine. Give yourself the opportunity to really shine. That's the biggest thing here, right? Because regardless of the types of, you know, prosecution wounds and this sacred slut energy and this, like, horror energy, there's a lot coming through about, you know, women being able to reclaim their bodies, their autonomy, right? Where we don't have to fit into these roles, where we get to play and bend and move and fully be the character that we want to be who we want to be, share what we want to share, create the art that we want to create, and not be held back. This is the sacred fame. This is the conscious couture energy. And this is why I am creating this series, because it goes so deep. There's so many messages coming through about really recognizing and learning from the past, learning from celebrities, learning from how when people have spoken up, what has happened? When people don't speak up, what has happened? And so truly, through and through, speak your voice and speak your truth. That's the number one thing here. And stand up for what is right, and believe in something, and believe in yourself, right? We're not, you know, there's this quote that says basically the reason why you're, like, not where you're at, or the reason why you might feel like you're not further along is because you're not lying, cheating, scamming, and scheming your way to get there. Like, you're taking the honest path. And so sometimes it does take a little bit more of that that perseverance and that grit to like actually see these bigger things through, especially as an independent artist. But just know, if this message has come to you and there's something in here for you, whether it's you being just seen by your local community or whether you were on the big stages, babe, like, I really feel like we are just seeing a wave of artists really being able to speak up about things that have been oppressed for so long, and artists like Britney and Michael and Bieber and a few others that come to mind, that always seem to have an uphill battle. And I feel like we're giving ourselves as humans so much more grace and so many more chances to just be human and make mistakes and learn from them, and know that sometimes when you have signed up to be the example, you'll know that. And sometimes you do walk the flame first to pave the way for others. And this is part of the sacred fame. Being safe, being seen, knowing that you are safe, knowing that when you do have a level of awareness around who's around you, what's going on with your finances, what's going on with them royalties, what's going on for all the things, like, you can have the pillars of respect and the pillars of autonomy, the pillar of protection, and the pillar of inner strength for yourself. This sacred fame journey is about being who you are in your fullest expression and knowing that it is worthy enough. The sacred fame journey is you reclaiming all parts of you. The sacred fame journey is about you knowing that you have so much to offer to this world, and honey, you were born for this shit. So it's just about the trust. It's about knowing that the visibility and the resource of being famous and being seen and having your work be just shown all over the world to millions and millions of people is because that was divinely orchestrated by God, honey. Like, God is moving them algorithms for the world to be able to really see you. And it is such a gift, and we can truly do so much good with the resource of fame, with the resources of money, the resources of wealth, being healthy, wealthy, and hot as fuck, and owning that. Like, I am having so much fun owning being a spiritual savage, holistic hottie, paid princess, primal priestess, honey. Like, this is literally dreams come true because I activate it within my own being every single day. And I trust that those who are meant to find me and meant to connect to my work, like, it is so symbiotic, and it is so beautiful to know that my words and my life experience can be resonated and can be reflected by the next person. And when somebody reaches out to me, I see them singing my song, they're appreciating the vibes, they're appreciating the music. That means everything to me. And knowing that when you have that knowing that you're one of the greatest of all time, you are the GOAT, you are going down in the Hall of Fames, you are having literally a star on the Hall of Fames, like, you are becoming somebody that people look up to, because really you've always been that, right? But it's like, now you are giving yourself permission to go even higher, to allow everything to expand to the next level, because you trust your work, you trust in your gifts, you have built the nervous system to hold the frequency, to hold that frequency of massive amounts of people being able to see you, hear you, listen to you, support you. Like, this is magic. It's magic. And there is a part of it where in the sacred fame journey, we acknowledge and we know that it's a responsibility, and that when you choose to view it that way, as a gift and as a responsibility and as a chance for you to just do so much good in the world, and know that you're capable of that, honey, it takes everything to the next level. This is what we came here to do, baby. This is Sacred Fame series, the Sacred Fame series, episode 1, as we are unveiling the first album that I am sharing with the world, Sacred Fame. It will be out this year, and my new song, J'adore Couture, will be out here in the next month, give or take. Still working on the dates, getting in the studio this week. But it definitely encompasses knowing that you were always meant for more, and that you were always meant for the star life, and that there is something so beautiful and sacred about that, and you honor that, and you know that, and you know that being rich is such a gift, and you know that you've always been rich in spirit. So this is just another embodiment and manifestation of that, in which you already know you are. And by you doing that, you know that you're giving the other baddies permission to do it, have it, be it, live it too. And to have fucking fun while doing it, babes. See you in the next video. Love and aloha. Diamond and fangs, baby.